I got a big head, T. I got to lift this thing up all the time. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Hey, dude, same. I know.
Yeah, you do. We both got melons.
Yeah. I'll let you, like, what's one thing you would say about, your baseball career as a whole? Like, how would you reflect in a couple statements?
I think the game is made for absolutely, like, insane people. And you have to just be willing to deal with failure and deal with the streakiness of the game and how difficult it is at times, but it just makes you appreciate the good moments that much more. And as far as a sport, I always wanted to play on a team. I was just asked the other day, like, are you going to play in an adult league out in Chicago? And I'm like, I don't know, because there's something about being on a team and working out with the same guys and going through fall ball and grinding it out and then just kind of strapping up your cleats and going out to play and compete with that group. Mm-hmm. That's really special. And that was one of the things that I liked most about playing sports in general, not just baseball. But from a strictly baseball perspective, I would say all in all, I played a ton of games and won more than I lost and had a heck of a fun time doing it. Met a ton of really interesting and great people who all worked hard, and a lot of them shared that same passion, and I was very lucky in that way. Had a lot of good mentors and older kids that I looked up to, and I hope that, I did that same thing for the younger classes below me.
Yeah. So hello everyone and welcome back. This is the Echols Unlimited podcast. I'm your host, Terrence Echols. Today I'm joined by one of my very good friends. Me and this kid go way back, probably till we're like, 4 or 5 years old.
Oh yeah.
Like one of my longest friendships ever. Matt Cappelletti. Matt, how you doing today?
Good, T. Good to see you, buddy. Glad to be on the podcast. It's been a long time coming. I'm an avid listener, so happy to be here today.
Oh, no way.
Yes, sir.
What a guy. No. Okay. So, let's get into it. I mean, there's a lot I want to touch on today, but mainly I want to give you the opportunity to talk about and reflect on your baseball career. Because, I mean, I know, knowing you growing up, I know how important that was to you, how it was your favorite sport growing up, and, just being someone who went to college, played baseball, even went to grad school and played baseball, just to give you that opportunity. So, first question I'm going to ask you today is, when did you fall in love with the game?
It was way back, definitely. I was playing T-ball, A-ball, double-A, the whole standard process for, kids playing Little League baseball. And I think when my dad started coaching me and we really formed a bond over baseball, that was kind of when I fell in love with the game and just being that ultra competitive athlete and, wanting to get better every day because it's a game that makes you have to get better.
Yeah.
And rise to the occasion, rise to that next level. That was always, a huge factor for me. So I definitely took a liking to how challenging the game was from a young age.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And, seeing you and, I was on a few of those teams back in the day.
Absolutely.
With you and your dad, great coach,
The New York Mets, maybe?
Yeah, the Mets team.
Yeah.
I think that was the only year we played together, but we played against each other a bunch.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that. But, and then, got to play with you a couple times in middle school, high school. That was a fun time. But let's go back to when your dad was coaching you. JD Little League. I know we had... we had fall ball, we had the regular Little League, and then you also played, I remember you were constantly traveling. Talk to me about, your travel ball, your Little League, your everything.
Yeah, for sure. It was a grind, and that was a sacrifice that I had to make from a pretty young age, even 8 and 9 years old. I played on the Sherrill Swing Away Stars.
Yeah.
And it was about a 45-minute drive out to Sherrill. And we would do it every, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it was a grind. And it was a lot of baseball, but that was something that was important to me. And my dad, fortunately, was able to, bring me out there most of the time, or my mom when she wasn't running my sisters around. So that was huge for me, and just getting a lot of exposure to the game and playing regularly, which was necessary to kind of continue to play at the next level and in high school and be competitive there, and then eventually into college. But from that, third or fourth grade, I was constantly playing travel ball with, Sports Zone originally, and then Baseball U. So it was weekend tournaments, wood bat tournaments, indoor hitting leagues in the winter at 481.
Jeez.
Going out to the cages when I wasn't playing or wasn't in the league. So it was a lot of time and a lot of effort and intensity for many years. So I definitely got my hours in traveling and playing baseball.
Dude, right? And I remember just seeing you and knowing that you were always on the move, and I could tell, like, I want to say maybe third, fourth grade is like when you could tell like who was better than everyone else. I'm like, this kid was like obviously better than everybody else in like our district at the time, and like that stayed true throughout our entire, like, up until high school. You were just constantly one of the top baseball players in our grade. And when did you sort of realize, like, okay, I'm pretty good at this. This is something I can pursue?
I think when I hit my first home run, I was playing in I think it was a AA summer ball league over in Manlius behind the fire station there.
Okay.
And I was hitting against this kid. It was like the bench warmers thing, when the guy comes in from the Dominican Republic or wherever he is, and he says, "I am 12," but he's throwing gas. And I remember I got up there, and kids were just afraid to stand in the box and afraid to swing the bat.
Oh God.
And somehow I got a barrel on one of this kid's pitches and took him yard over the 120-foot fence.
No way.
That was when I got the itch and just like decided to dedicate all my free time to playing baseball.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, dude. Because, like, I mean, I remember like those situations where there's like this huge kid just out of nowhere, like whether he was tall, whether he was big, like kid who like was up there throwing gas, or the kid that you knew like was gonna just take one deep like every time if you threw anything like close to him. And it was just like those types of kids, you just got scared.
I know, and it's because everybody matures and like grows at a different age, and so I kind of was just like steady along. But I remember a lot of the kids were just massive, 12, 13-year-olds, and you're like, how am I going to get in the box with this kid throwing?
Yeah.
Or how am I going to pitch to this guy? I can't throw this guy a strike.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, shout out Jake Rasabi.
Shout out Jake Rasabi, seriously. Andrew LeClaire, those guys.
My God.
Like AAU basketball. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Kids were huge, man.
I know it. Late bloomers.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Still.
I know.
We got no face for here. What the heck? All right, what is it like growing up here in the Cuse, man? Like, what was your sort of perspective? You and I grew up, really close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like 5-10 minute walk,
mm-hmm.
2-minute drive. Like, what was it like growing up in this area for you?
I loved it. From a non-sports and sports perspective, I think it was a great place to be a kid and just run around and kind of enjoy the area. We're not too close to Syracuse, so being in the suburbs and having the ability to kind of just take your bike down to the field or down to the high school and watch a game, being really close with the community. I thought we had a great community at JD, just kind of all the way up. Great people, great friends, great families, and definitely a lot of good memories being a kid here. I wouldn't have wanted to grow up elsewhere. I think it was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. No, I same, dude, same. I mean, I remember, just going up to your house. I remember, like, playing outside with all the kids in your neighborhood. Like, everyone would just come out. Like, that was so cool, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like just experiences like that is stuff you're never going to forget, or just, like, when we got older, just running around the neighborhood.
Yeah, for
just
sure.
doing stuff we probably should not have been doing.
Pretty sure I got caught ding-dong ditching in your neighborhood.
Exactly.
Once upon a time.
Exactly. Or the time we had a sleepover here, and the next morning your dad comes to pick you up, and was like, you guys must have had like some deer running around, because it was snow on the ground. So our footprints were out. Like, we were obviously outside at like 2-3 a.m. And your dad comes, he's like, Man, you guys must have had like some deer walking around. Like my mom's like, oh yeah, we get them all the time. Like no need to worry. They just walk around.
Mom was covered for us.
Well, she didn't know.
I know she didn't.
God bless her soul. She didn't know.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. No, if she had known, she probably would have gotten mad. But no, I remember good times. Oh, but you know, let's sort of get into like your high school career. So I got to play with you that first year on JV. Mm-hmm. You were there for a long while. That was your second year on JV because you had played up, right?
Yeah, I played JV my 8th grade year and 9th grade year. Mm-hmm. And then I was given a spot on the varsity team my 10th grade year.
Starting spot, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Started at second base. We had a great senior class that year. A lot of big names like Xander Ferlenda and Jake Binder, Brady Wing, all those guys. But I was lucky enough to have a spot, be a role player on that team, which was really cool. And then into our junior and senior year, I mean, we just kind of like created a culture, had a lot of guys who could play and just loved the game. We'd all been playing together for, however many years, 10, 11, 12 years.
Crazy.
And being tight on our high school teams and also playing travel ball together. We had a lot of experience, playing as a team, so it's cool to just kind of see that, all come together for our last couple years in high school and be able to compete. It was great.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I remember you guys are funny, man. The Instagram posts after the games,
oh yeah,
you guys won 17 games in a row at one point.
Yeah, we had our junior year, we had a heck of a winning streak going. We won 15 or 16 games in a row.
That's crazy. Yeah.
We had a heck of a run going. But yeah, the team, we lived on Taco Bell and Tully's.
Oh my God, yeah.
We had the boys packing the hill and center field during our games. Those are things that I will not forget.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Dude, Taco Bell. I remember Josh shout out Josh. He dropped off a Taco Bell taco. This is the only time I've ever had Taco Bell in my life. Since then, I have never had Taco Bell.
I can't say the same. That place was just vital to my survival in high school, and luckily I kind of steered clear of that during college because
oh my God, yeah,
I ballooned up a little bit going into freshman year of college.
Oh really?
It was a couple too many tacos. Work it back off.
Dude, it happens, freshman 15, that's a thing.
Yeah, no question.
It happens to the best of us. I mean, now you look great, man.
Thank you.
Of course. So let's talk about your recruiting process for baseball and all that. Mm-hmm. What were some of the things you were looking at when you were talking to schools? I know you're a very high academic guy. That's something we didn't really touch on yet. But I remember you always had amazing grades. You were always looking at some of the really good schools. So, what was sort of the things that you found most important, and then why did you end up picking Hamilton?
For sure. So I think there were a ton of different factors. I had a lot of different interests, and I was baseball was a huge factor for me going into school, but it wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to rely on just baseball to get me into school, or only looking at the baseball program when I was looking at school. So I tried to put myself in a good position in high school and, do the work on the front end to get those good grades and get those good test scores so I could apply to places where, I wanted to go and be a part of a campus community and also play baseball. So
yeah,
it wasn't strictly baseball. And some of the schools that I was looking at were schools in the NESCAC like Hamilton, Tufts, Williams, Wesleyan, and I just went to a lot of those camps. And tried to get in touch with a lot of the college coaches. But as you know, it's easier said than done. It's a difficult process. You just kind of get on their radar. If you're not 6'4", 220, you usually don't get those conversations.
Yeah.
So I went to the camps, talked to coaches, and didn't really receive a lot of good feedback. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of a waiting game because I wanted to put myself in a position where I was going to apply to a school and hopefully have an offer, and whether they needed to support me or not through the admissions process.
Yeah.
But I eventually received an offer from Hamilton College, where I ended up going. and the University of Rochester, and that was a very tough decision for me, both solid academic and athletic schools and competitive conferences, but ultimately decided on Hamilton because, a lot of different things. I had the chance to study abroad there, which I did, and the baseball program was kind of on the up and up. Had a great class coming in, who later became some of my best friends, and I really liked the collegial, feel being on the Hamilton campus. It was right down the road from my house, only a 45-minute drive, so that was huge. Yeah. And it worked out nice.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, no, my brother goes to school in Hamilton, so, like, just knowing, like, that drive is super easy. Like, you just take back roads all the way there, like, but you still get that feel like, okay, I'm away at college.
Right. Easy enough to come home, but far enough where you don't feel like you're at home.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's great. And, I mean, obviously paid off, worked out. Is that bug inside or outside?
Outside.
You sure?
Yeah. I think so.
So if it's inside, but back to Hamilton and baseball and all that stuff. I mean, you mentioned, like, you guys had a really good recruiting class. Like, what was sort of your role coming in freshman year? Like, let's talk about your freshman year.
Yeah, no question. So I came in, we had a pretty good core group of upperclassmen who were able to kind of show us the ropes and sort of introduce us to the team and the culture and what it meant to be a part of, like, Hamilton baseball. As far as my role on the team, I competed with the senior captain, third baseman, who was a talented guy, and just kind of, like, went to practice every day, hoping to have a chance to beat him out. And I did for a good portion of the season, and had an opportunity to play early on, which was awesome because a lot of times that's not the case. But just kind of grinded it out through fall ball and worked hard during the winter and had a chance to play in the spring. So that was cool and kind of set me up heading into my sophomore year. But yeah, overall it was a completely different experience from playing high school baseball and having that background. Everybody knows you kind of coming up through the ranks and playing modified and junior varsity baseball, and they kind of know what to expect. But you're just thrown into a group of guys who have never seen anybody else play before.
It's a free for all.
You're all battling for a spot.
No, that's awesome, dude. And you mentioned, you played third base in college. Let's talk about, like, your position a little bit, because I know baseball is something where, like, positions change, like, all the time. And it's something where, like, it's not like football where, like, you pick a position and you have to stick with it. Like, you can't really change positions too much in football. Whereas baseball, like, you normally have, like, 2 or 3 positions that you're solid at. Also, you play in the field. Right. As well, so you're not like a pitcher. When did you decide to stop pitching? Because I remember you're one of the harder throwers growing up as a kid. So when did you decide, like, okay, I'm not going to be a pitcher, I'm going to be a guy who plays in the infield? Yeah,
that thought process was similar to, like, choosing baseball over any other sport. Like, if you're going to be a pitcher and you're dedicated to pitching, that's kind of what you have to do. Mm-hmm. And a lot of guys try to be two-way guys, and some of them are successful at it, but in my experience, a lot of them wind up either only pitching or only playing the field. It's just a lot of wear and tear on the arm and arm care, and then also trying to play a position over and somebody else who's, and hit, which is, by far the hardest part of the game. And it just takes so much time to kind of perfect and get your timing down and all that sort of stuff. So, I decided, I think it was my sophomore year, the year I first played varsity baseball, to kind of put pitching on the back burner. Only in dire circumstances would I get on the mound. But, when I went to college, it definitely was not a thought. But I played shortstop in high school and went to college, not necessarily expecting to play shortstop. That was a possibility. But I feel like a lot of the outfielders who are on a college team, they were all their center fielders. And they go play corner outfielder, and most of the infielders were shortstops, and then they go travel to a different position. So I think once they saw the 215-pound version of Matt Cappelletti, he was not going to be the college shortstop. So put me at third base, and I played a little second too. so I still had that kind of middle infield thing going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, third base is where I played most of my career.
Okay. No, okay, awesome. Yeah, because I remember those days. It was like weird. Like you had to pick a position, and it was like you didn't know what you were, and then like you had to know, oh, this guy pitches, so what is he gonna play in the field? Like especially in high school, it's like there was very few. I want to say, and I didn't. Unfortunately, our seasons collided a lot of the time with my basketball stuff in lacrosse. I didn't get to go to a ton of your guys' games, but the ones I went to, like, you guys really only had, like, I'm trying to think, like, 2 or 3 guys who I thought were, like, strictly just pitchers. You know what I mean? Like, I know Will just pitched, and, like, that was his thing since as 3rd grade, I remember.
Right.
Like,
and Josh, too, like, at least towards the end of his career, Yeah, no, the PO thing, pitcher only thing, kind of starts in high school, and it's definitely a reality, obviously, in college. But, I mean, you have like a smaller roster size, so guys can do both in high school. But once you get to college, it's definitely more challenging to kind of do, play the part on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, yeah, and before I start, asking you about your sophomore, junior year, all that stuff, it'd be terrible if I didn't ask you about some of the other sports you played growing up. Because we played a lot of sports growing up together. We lived like soccer, basketball. That was huge. And then football, dude. Like, we had so much fun doing all that. Talk to me about like your experiences playing other sports. Because like, in my opinion, you were one of the best all-around athletes growing up.
Well, thank you, Terrence. I appreciate that.
I got you. My guy.
I think it's very important to not specify, not specialize. Thank you. In just one sport, because it takes away a lot of the fun. It makes the one sport you play that much more challenging, because in your head you're only dedicating your efforts solely to that sport. So I made it a point from a young age to like play as many sports as I possibly could.
Oh yeah, you did.
So like you said, East Side Soccer when we were kids growing up, played until 8th grade. And then freshman year, Josh and Bennett and Rasavi and you convinced my parents somehow, after I had already played, half a year of Pop Warner football and had my appendix taken out.
Oh my God.
That was a sign from God that I was, not allowed to play football. And then finally I was able to play again. My parents loved me, so I played football my sophomore year, and then junior year was the big recruiting year for baseball. So I didn't want to get hurt playing football. Decided to go back and play golf, which I played my freshman year. Yep. And then senior year, I said I need one more go at it with football, so played football again. I just went back and forth.
Dude, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I remember getting that Snapchat from you summer after junior year. All you said, JDFF 2016. I was
coming
like,
back.
JDFF 2016. I was hyped, dude. I was hyped. You just sent me a random Snapchat on a random day, and I was like, "Let's go, dude!"
I was fired up.
We had some fun that year. We were the Dogs.
Yes, sir. Outside linebacker, baby.
Exactly. Fun times, man.
Contain the sweep.
Contain the sweep, bro. Need that. But
yes,
good times doing all that. And then you also played CYO, right? Basketball.
Yeah. Yep. I was cut from the freshman team my freshman year, and I didn't play basketball at all that year. And then somehow the guys who had been playing CYO beforehand
did it.
Convinced everybody at the same time, all the lacrosse and football and baseball guys, to just kind of join arms and join the CYO basketball team. And our sophomore year, we won the parish championship, which was awesome.
Dude.
And had a chance to keep playing ball and on a little bit more like lighthearted team. And it was still competitive, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Dude, I remember like your games were sometimes more hyped than our games.
We kind of got a little bit of a following throughout the years. Once we established ourselves as a winning program, Holy Cross Crusaders, we had some guys just coming out on a Wednesday, Thursday night. I mean, that's homework.
Yeah,
going to the CYO basketball game.
No, exactly. Right here at Holy Cross. This church is just down East Genesee, right over there. But
absolutely
Perfect, man. Let's get back into the baseball talk. Your college baseball career. What was it like your sophomore year? Now that you finally had a year under your belt, you felt you established yourself in the lineup. Like what was that like?
Yeah. So we had set like the program record for wins, which
It's tough.
Was challenging, and kind of figuring out who everybody was on the team. It was very underclassmen heavy lineup. Like I said, we had a great class coming in. But at least in my experience playing baseball, pitching was always the biggest challenge for us. So we had some issues on the mound, but eventually continued to win a bunch of games and sort of set the standard going forward. So we kind of had to rise to the occasion as underclassmen, as sophomores coming in the following year, and continue that the winning tradition that we were hoping to achieve into our junior and senior year, and be competitive in the NESCAC playoffs and then regionals hopefully. And unfortunately didn't end up getting that opportunity with COVID and whatnot at Hamilton, but it was really cool to kind of solidify my spot as a freshman and then carry that into sophomore year and be a leader on the field, and working hard in the off season. And the NESCAC is pretty interesting because we have like a set amount of days that you can practice together as a team. We didn't have our coaches at practice in the fall, which is unique to only our conference. Throughout Division 1, 2, and 3, you get a certain amount of days. But in the NESCAC, it was only captain's practices. So the players kind of had to have their crap together. Yeah. And
you can swear.
Had their shit together.
Dude, we're 23. We can swear.
All right, good.
You're good.
And kind of get everybody on the same page. Welcome the underclassmen. That was always fun. Like every year, new class coming in, seeing where everybody's at. So we made a point to have a real culture and solid baseball team off the field before we took it out on the field to compete.
And you mentioned you briefly mentioned COVID. I know that happened. Was that your sophomore year or junior?
Junior.
Okay, so I know you went abroad, right?
Yeah.
So did you go abroad the semester? Obviously, the semester before COVID happened. So what was that experience like?
That was really cool. Just kind of getting away from upstate New York.
Yeah.
I studied abroad in Madrid, Spain. Lived with a host family, and my major at Hamilton was actually Hispanic Studies.
Yep.
So became fluent in Spanish. Traveled a bunch. Saw 10 different countries. Italy, Greece, Austria, the Netherlands, all over the place. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And of course, all over Spain.
Yep.
And just having that chance to sort of see the world from a new perspective and be on my own. A lot of the trips I took, solo, just trying to figure things out, learn how to navigate a different city, different country.
Oh my gosh.
Was pretty eye-opening and a great experience to have as a 20-year-old, almost 21-year-old.
Right.
So it was wicked cool, man. It was great.
That's sick, dude. Like, honestly, that's one thing I wish I got to do. Like in college, it's something I never Marist is a big study abroad school. I never tried to pursue it, because of basketball. I was just so focused on that, and you obviously can't because it's a 2 semester sport, so it's like can't do that. But no, that's sick, dude. I'm so glad you got to do that. You got to see the motherland in Italy. How was that?
Oh yeah, very cool. I ate too much pasta and pizza, but it's never too much over there.
Exactly.
So, molto bene. Very good.
That's awesome, dude. So after that, come back to campus, and then literally 2 months later, it's all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, it was tragic. I mean, we were all set up with like this great room.
Yeah.
Had a big suite. Everybody's getting back together and fired up for the season. And we were a day away from leaving for our Florida spring trip. And we're in the locker room, and I just hear this, COVID, this, COVID, that. Yeah. What the hell is COVID?
Yeah.
And one of the kids says, we're not going on our spring trip. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? We're not going on our spring trip. We're going on our spring trip.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the next day we had this big assembly with all the spring sports teams. The president comes in and says, it's not safe to travel. and that was when it all went downhill.
Oh God, dude, I can imagine. And the NESCAC is like super strict about that stuff. Like you mentioned,
Oh yeah.
like you mentioned the captain's practices. Like I know the NESCAC in Division 3 and then the Ivy League in Division 1. It's just like so many dumb rules, in my opinion, that like
Right.
inhibit student athletes from getting like that full enjoyment. I feel like,
Yeah, no question.
yeah,
The NESCAC definitely follows in the footsteps of the Ivy League,
yeah,
and being in sort of that position, and just in terms of what they're liberal arts schools, and we had to test 3 times a week when we were back on campus in the fall. The school still, even this spring, was testing before every single game, seeing who could travel and who couldn't. And at Rochester this year, we didn't test a single time. So it's like, I mean, unless you were symptomatic.
yeah,
But yeah, it was very intense, and there was not a lot of opportunity to have like a real college experience there because you weren't able to gather socially. You couldn't have more than 3 people in your room.
yep,
You're masked up everywhere. So it was tough, and that was the case for most people on college campuses throughout the last year and a half. But especially at Hamilton, the administration didn't make it easy to have a real college feel.
yeah, no, and I feel for you guys. Like, yeah, I know my senior year wasn't the best. Like, I don't want to say it was nice or anything, but I mean, at least I got to be with friends. At least we had a full basketball season. Like, at least I had to do a couple things that a lot of other students in my in other situations didn't get. And then the fact that I was able to come back for my master's and play another year is something that a lot of students didn't get. So it's super super blessed. But I definitely get what you mean in terms of like all the testing and the stupid rules. Like, I'll be honest, they were stupid rules. I don't go to Marist anymore. Like, I'll say it, a lot of stupid rules. But you knew they were just trying to keep everyone safe. They were just trying to do what's in everyone's best interest. But at the end of the day, like in hindsight's always 20/20. It just was not an ideal situation. But I know you tried to make the most of it your senior year. You had, you were doing your thing, having a lot of fun. And then, something really unfortunate happened, midway through your senior year. So I'll let you talk about that a little bit more. So
yeah, no doubt. So I guess leading up to that, like senior year, we went back to campus in the fall, and we're expecting things to be a little bit better with COVID, and then it wasn't. So we all left early and said, we're not coming back until things change here. Yeah. So we moved out of Hamilton, went back, and I was home doing virtual class and was up at the lake, up at Tupper Lake, skiing with a couple of high school buddies. And we were debating whether or not to go to Whiteface and ski, and I said, let's just build a jump here on this random trail. So we took the 4-wheelers out, had the skis going, and I said, I'm going to do a backflip today. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah. So after I flipped a couple 360s, I tried a backflip, and on my first attempt, completely under-rotated, sent it a little bit too hard, and had a very serious neck injury, facet fracture on C5 and compound fracture on C6. Ooh. Had a cervical spinal fusion surgery, and long story short, I had to get taken in the backseat of my buddy's truck to Saranac Medical, get checked out there. Yeah. Did the old CAT scan. They said, you broke your neck. We're gonna have to transport you back to Syracuse. So had emergency surgery, and thank God it wasn't worse. But the doctor said right before I went into surgery, are you an athlete? Do you lift weights? Yeah. And I said, yeah, I do. And he said, well, thank God, because you're a couple of reps on the bench press or the
really?
Squat rack from being paralyzed, because the cervical spine is very sensitive and obviously right next to your spinal cord. Yeah. And he said if it had broken a different way, or your vertebrae had slipped more than they're supposed to or than they had, you would be paralyzed basically from the neck down.
Oh,
so that was
my God, dude.
Huge sigh of relief, yeah. I guess, considering the circumstances. But,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was a pretty tough day, and thank God it ended up only being about a 3-month recovery.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some gnarly screws and some wire in there now, and mobility is all good. Able to play baseball and do everything else.
Yep.
But just very thankful that was not worse.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. I mean, shout out to you, man. Way to get after it on the bench.
Thank you, T.
Way to be the strong young man that you are, man. Imagine if you were just, some dude who didn't spend time working on his body and health and fitness and, take that stuff serious. Like, dude, that's amazing. That's amazing that you were able to, only have a 3-month, sort of recovery from that.
Yeah. It was tough just kind of laying around, but, after the bone had kind of healed and I started the PT process, it definitely went quicker than I expected it to, considering how serious the injury was. But I got a big head, T. I got to lift this thing up all the time. Like, yeah. Yeah. But, yeah.
Hey, dude, same. I know.
Yeah, you do. We both got melons.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, we probably had the biggest helmets on the football team.
Oh, for sure.
I know I did. I had the same one junior, senior year. The one that strapped itself. We had like one helmet left that size. The only other people that used it were linemen.
They're about to put you there. Just
just because of my head, dude. Oh God, yeah. But I mean, that's rough, and I'm sure you were just thinking about just walking at that time. But my biggest fear when I heard the news, I'm like, man, like Matt's not gonna play baseball again. Like that's his thing, and I felt really bad for you, and I said a few prayers, and I hopefully. I thank God that you're here, man. Yeah, exactly. God came in clutch, and he gave you the ability to play another year. You decide. I mean, let's get into that now. What made you want to pursue another season of baseball? I mean, you didn't really get a season of baseball. You probably weren't going to play anyway with your injury, but I mean,
right.
NESCAC, did they cancel the season last year too?
It was very weird. So basically, what happened was we all decided to go off campus, and we were down in Austin, Texas at the time.
Yeah,
and it was 4 of the seniors and 4 of the juniors. We were all living in the house there, and a bunch of other people were off campus too. And the school said, there's no way we're having a spring season. We're not playing. And we said, all right, we're going to Austin. Yeah. So we went and rented a house for a couple months. That was while I was kind of recovering from the surgery. Yeah. And taking it easy. And then they sent us an email and said, oh, we've been doing great with all the COVID cases. Everything's fine. We're going to have spring sports and spring activities. And we're all like, what the hell? And they said, you guys can come back for graduation. So we're like, oh, all right. Like, we can come back and play baseball. Mm-hmm. And it was going to be an abbreviated season. It ended up being like 14 games. But we all wrote to school and said, can we come back and compete this spring? Yeah. And they were like, nope, since you started the semester off campus, you can't come back. So only the kids who were on campus had the chance to play. A couple of schools didn't even have enough kids to field a team. Yeah. So we had like 18 kids playing on
my gosh.
College baseball team, and it was just
That's ridiculous. That's like barely enough.
Yeah. Yeah. It was absurd. So didn't play at all senior year, and I was like, that cannot be the end of my baseball career. Yeah. I got to keep playing.
Exactly.
So I was looking into opportunities for grad school. I didn't want to start working at the time. I'm like,
same.
I got to keep playing.
You know what it is?
Yes, sir. And so as I mentioned before, I had received an offer heading into college from the University of Rochester. And I was thankful that I had kept in touch with the Rochester head coach, Joe Arena, who's a great dude. And I talked to him a little bit while I was at Hamilton. And then as COVID was sort of happening and I had those years of eligibility, I'm like, I got to reach out to this guy, see if there's a chance for me to keep playing. And I had applied to Simon's Business School and sent in my application in October of my senior year. So I got that in and just said, we'll see what happens. And I was looking at a couple other schools, but didn't have the baseball connects there. So wasn't necessarily guaranteed a roster spot.
Right.
And I said, I have the connection here. It's a good school. Might get some good money. I'm going to apply. And I ended up getting in and then told the coach, I'm coming. Can I have a spot on the team? And he said, yeah, we'd love to have you. So I was happy I kept in touch with him while I was at Hamilton. and maintain that connection. And I showed up at Simon in the fall of this past year and had a great year.
Awesome. How did the team do? How was the season?
It was awesome. The team was a ton of fun. They had success the last couple of years in the Liberty League.
Yeah.
We're very competitive, and I had the chance to play with a lot of great players who have been there for a number of years. Again, like pretty strong upper class. And it was funny just being like the grad transfer guy. I lived with one other grad transfer who came from Whitman College, and he was at Valpo, Division I beforehand.
Oh, wow.
And he was a pitcher only.
Yeah.
So we lived together off campus, but we were known as like the grandpas on the team because, the old guys. So every day they'd remind us how old we were.
Oh, God.
But it was sort of weird being in that role and not having had any background with anybody on the team.
Yeah.
And then getting there. And so you treat, like seniors like freshmen, and everybody's the same.
Right.
You're not biased to one class necessarily.
Yeah.
But everybody was very welcoming and very cool. Great guys, great baseball players, and worked really hard, and we had a great year. We set the program record for wins there
Awesome.
with 31, and we received the first at-large bid in program history.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, we didn't win the Liberty League. We lost to Ithaca in the championship game, who just got knocked out of their super regional. But yeah, we had a lot of success and played third base there. Had a ton of fun, and Rochester was a great place to get another degree.
Yeah.
It was sweet.
Yeah, it's super good school for, especially for being like such a it's pretty small, right? Like it seems pretty small, like
yeah, bigger than Hamilton.
Okay.
But yeah, because they have the med school and
okay. Because I know Rochester's like smaller town than Syracuse at least.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, you got to stay in that upstate area and all that. That's super cool. But dude, I'm glad you got that grad year. Honestly, I'm happy for you, man.
Yeah.
And Liberty League is a very solid league. Another high academic league, I know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you take that super serious, and I know that Simon's. I've heard of that business school, so I know good things happen there. So super happy for you, man. Super proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So. We talked a lot about baseball. Let's start talking about some of your off-the-field activities. In particular, I want to mention two things. I want to mention your cooking on TikTok.
Let's go. I love that.
And also your taste in music, which has been something that has surprised me since we were young kids. Since you were the kid in the neighborhood who listened to Young Thugs since we were like 12. Like, all right, so those are two things I really want to hit on. So you can start with the cooking.
Yeah, we'll kill two birds with one stone. So my TikTok, I'm a very novice TikTok maker, and I have been very inconsistent.
Yeah.
However, I do love to cook, and shout out Vincenzo DiCristina.
Chenzi, yeah.
And my girlfriend Kendall, she's an avid foodie. She's got a food Instagram. Yeah. She kind of taught me the ropes when I was, a freshman, sophomore in college, and explained to me the importance of, eating baby carrots instead of Taco Bell. So that she kind of taught me how to cook a little bit. And then Vincenzo, when COVID happened, said, "Hey, come work on the food truck with me."
Yeah.
And it ended up being my summer job for 2 years. So we had our videos on Instagram, taste testing the wings, the Fiorini wings.
Oh my God, love them.
Best wings on the planet.
Exactly.
And we had a freaking blast doing that, man. It was a ton of fun. So I was like, you know what, I gotta make a couple cooking videos because it's fun to cook. When you make something and it tastes
really
good, it's
is.
like satisfying, especially when you're cooking for other people.
Yeah.
It's like satisfying. So I made my TikTok. It's called Beats and Eats.
Eats.
I got the good eats with the good beats.
Yeah.
And the beats are always like Atlanta rap.
Right.
So I have listened to everybody from Young Thug, Gunna, Lil Baby, Future, the whole list. And I've loved rap music since I was a kid, probably because it has a very close tie with sports in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like you follow the NBA or the NFL. You got Debo Samuel walking out with a speaker listening to Kodak, Super Gremlin, and all the rappers that sit courtside at the NBA games. So that connection has always been interesting to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I love it. If I'm in the car, I'm listening to rap.
Yeah, exactly. Thank God, man. You're the only dude I know with a pickup truck that doesn't listen to country.
I know.
This is a baseball player. He drives a pickup truck. You know, grew up in the suburbs. Don't listen to country. Oh my God, Matt, you're something amazing.
National treasure.
Yes, that's exactly. Good. No, you are a rare breed, man. We got to get you down to Atlanta sometime.
I know.
You got to see it, man.
Try Atlanta. Yeah, get down there.
I love it. Honestly, you love the Atlanta rappers more than me too. Like I remember, like you put me on to Young Thug songs and Future songs in the past. Like,
oh yeah,
that's crazy, man. Oh my God, that's so funny. Been an
avid fan for a while.
That's so funny. Okay, so give me your Okay, let's go. Top 5 favorite foods to. Let me say. Let's do top 3 favorite to eat. Top 3 favorite to cook. Or your 3 best.
Okay.
Also.
My 3 best meals that I cook. Gotta go with some pork, like street tacos.
Okay.
A little slaw action
solid.
On there. Some fresh corn tortillas. Mm-hmm. Those have been money. Chicken riggies, obviously, are at the top of the list.
People don't know about chicken riggies, man.
No, they don't. Educate yourself.
Yeah.
They're delicious.
Upstate New York.
Yeah.
Only.
Oh, rigatoni pasta with the fresh marinade and a little hint of spice with the chicken. Oh, cherry peppers, a little Parmesan.
Yep.
Can't beat it.
Yep.
And you know what, T? I've been a master on the grill recently. I had a lot of opportunities to grill. Yep. So I like a nice little center cut ribeye or filet.
Really?
You know, season that bad boy up.
You cook a steak like that?
Oh yeah. And I also do like the little lemon garlic clams with a little butter on the grill.
Dang. Okay.
Just toss them in. Let them open up. And
right.
Toss them with the sauce.
Yeah. Dude, oh my God. Dude, since we were little, like you've always been the kid, the food guy. The food guy.
Well, I got to tell a story about your birthday party when we were kids.
Oh, yeah.
So we go out to Tully's Good Times, you know, famous for their tenders.
Yep.
And as a kid, you get the kids menu, you get the crayons, and, you know, you color in the turtle at Tully's.
Go to town. Yeah.
And everybody at the birthday party, we were probably, 6 or 7 maybe?
Yeah. Maybe 1st, 2nd grade, yeah.
And we're sitting at the table with Terrence's parents, and I said to Mrs. Echols, can I look at the adult menu, please? And she just started laughing, and she's like, you are something else. Because I went through a lot of phases of just like, I would like get big and then grow. And
oh my God, yeah.
That was like the prime, like, you know, Matt eating phase. I've always been a foodie, but
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Hey man, it happens, you know. At the end of the day, like, man's gotta eat.
Absolutely.
And I mean, you've seen me throughout the years too. I've been a big boy too.
Put some food away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I've been right there with you, but you know that was actually hilarious. My dad still brings that up to this day. He's like, remember when we was getting food and Matt ordered.
All my friends' parents are like, Matt's a great kid, but it just would kill us to feed him every day.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah. No, and you know, God bless your parents for feeding you for so long.
I know. They did a good job.
I respect it. So, all right. So, okay. Mention the 3 favorite to cook. Now, 3 favorite to eat.
So, I'm a sucker for some like really authentic wood fire pizza.
Okay. Oh,
like
okay.
Italian pizza. A little prosciutto, a little mozzarella, a little arugula, balsamic. That's money. I also love chicken wings. I've loved chicken wings my whole life. I know you do too.
Dude, remember, I want to say 7th, 8th grade? No, we were on JV, so it had to have been freshman year. Mm-hmm. Quaker Steak and Lube.
Don't get me started about that place. This place had a laundry list menu full of different sauce flavors.
Yes, bro.
And Tuesdays was all you can eat.
Yes, we did that.
Yeah.
We had like a week off from school or something. We drove all the way out there because it was in Baldwinsville, bro.
Yeah,
it was deep from where we grew up. So we were there and like it was all you can eat. So like we were all trying to put away. I think I did like 16, I want to say. And, like, that was disappointing. Freshman year, Terrence, I don't know what he was doing. I was a little scrawny freshman year. I wasn't built like I was.
On the pounds.
Yeah, well, I packed on the pounds in middle school. So, that's when I started to, grow and, skin a little scrawny. But I only put away 16. I forgot how much you had, but you had like 24. I want to say you had 24 or something like that. And like that wasn't even the most that out of our group. Like I think someone else ate more than you.
Yeah.
Which is
sure
crazy.
We were putting those things away though.
No, it's like our whole baseball team went, I think.
Oh, it was awesome.
It was fire, dude. It was like $15 all you can eat.
And then they shut down. What's that all
Oh
about?
my god, yeah, they're not even open anymore. We don't got a B-Dubs, we don't got a Quaker.
We got nothing.
Yeah. We have Utica Pizza Company.
Facts.
We have them
Fiorini
in their
wings.
Fiorini wings.
Yeah, I'd be sneaking a couple out of those out of the freezer when I was working with Vinny. I wouldn't tell him. I'd be like, "Oh, I heard there's a batch of Fiorini wings back there."
Dude, right? They'd be so quick.
Oh my.
Dude, every time I pulled up, before I even got there, I remember you guys would have some waiting for me. I'd be like, "Oh, you guys are the best."
Yeah, you'd say I'm coming, and we'd have a couple containers of Fiorini wings.
Shout out to Vincenzo and them, man. That's good ass.
Incredible people.
Yeah. Okay, so you said something fire pizza.
Wood fire pizza.
Wood fire pizza. Chicken wings. Okay. Favorite sauce?
Gotta go like honey barbecue or like just hot, like buffalo.
Yep.
Ranch or blue cheese?
Blue cheese. Always. Right?
Blue cheese with wings.
Right, bro?
Ranch with pizza or whatever
exactly.
else.
I don't put stuff on pizza, but yeah, I blue cheese on wings
I knew
always.
You were a blue cheese guy.
Yes. Oh my god, huge.
And what else do I got? I gotta stay away from like all the Italian food. I could go like a lamb gyro, little.
Oh, okay, little
action.
Greek vibes. Greek Fest
Greek
next
Fest
week.
coming up.
No,
Shout
but
out
you
Greek
won't
Fest.
be here.
I know. It's a tragedy.
Oh.
Might have to fly back.
Yeah. Just for the
honey balls.
Yeah, the honey balls.
Ice cream sundae with
exactly.
baklava.
Exactly.
Dude, Greek food, like the Mediterranean vibe, just does it for me.
So good.
Every day of the week.
So good. Falafel. I started eating.
Kidding me?
Oh my god, dude.
Who knew you could do that with chickpeas?
Yo, right? Chickpeas, bro.
It's pretty insane.
Oh, feta. Oh my god, feta cheese is like one of my favorite cheeses now.
So good.
Right, dude.
A little fresh cucumber salad.
Unreal.
Dude, can't miss.
Good times. Shawarma.
Yep.
Too. Yeah, there's a Mediterranean spot over by Marist that I got into like my sophomore year, and I love it. Shout out Falafel Town.
It's incredible.
Wait, okay. I also forgot to ask. What is your favorite? Like, how do you cook your steak?
So, I usually just season it, let it sit out. You can't cook a steak cold.
Right.
So I let it sit out for a little bit, and then I'll just throw it on like high heat, sear it a little bit, and then either put it in the oven and let it cook. Got to have a meat thermometer depending on how nice the cut of meat is.
Exactly.
But I'm usually like a medium rare guy.
Really? Okay.
I used to be like my dad likes his a little more well done.
Yeah.
So
Same.
I thought that was the only way.
Yeah.
Once I discovered the medium rare side of the world,
it's juicy.
Been living there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bro, I didn't experience medium well until we were just talking about this the other day. My junior year, we were at a steakhouse in Daytona, Florida. The team was together, and like my coach was just ripping on me for eating my steak well done. And he's like, "You gotta try something else." So I finally tried. I tried a medium well steak there, dude. It was fire.
Yeah.
Like from now on, whenever I get like a burger, steak, whatever at a restaurant, I'm getting medium well.
Medium rare or medium well?
Medium well. No, I haven't ventured that far off. Okay. No. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I respect it though. You're making progress. It's
Exactly, bro. No, so a couple more things I just want to touch on. What is like one thing you can say to like the next generation of guys who want to go to school and play sports, but like are also academically focused? Like, what's one piece of advice you can give them?
I would say don't focus solely on your sport and don't focus solely on the academic piece, and have fun and enjoy the ride, because before you know it, it's going to be over. But looking at the recruiting process as a whole, just go at it with an open mind and be as active as you possibly can. Try to get in touch with as many people as you possibly can. Coaches, even players, just kind of use the connections that you have. Because oftentimes your high school coach, he's focused on building his team, for example.
Wins,
and, your travel coaches, sometimes they're not advocating for you, so you got to advocate for yourself. Do not let your parents push you one way or the other, or advocate for you, because that will get you knocked off a coach's list in a heartbeat.
Exactly.
So just be a pest. Like, don't be overly annoying, but reach out regularly, send video, and just kind of be in their ear, because the worst thing that can happen is they say no. Yeah. And that was the case for me. Like, you might have like a 5% response rate, but that 5%,
that's all you need.
That's all you need.
Yeah, no, dude, I can echo that. With basketball, I had the same, sort of situation, and finally got on, finally was able to, just crack myself onto the team, and it's a process. And I emailed hundreds of coaches in that process, and it's so important to just stay the course, understand what's meant for you is meant for you. The right school will finally take a chance on you, and it'll be the best 4 years of your life, in my opinion.
No question. And props to you for sticking to it and grinding it out.
Yeah, in our case, 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Fifth year
gang.
Yes,
but
sir. No,
that's awesome, dude. And I'll let you, what's one thing you would say about your baseball career as a whole? How would you reflect in a couple statements?
I think the game is made for absolutely insane people, and you have to just be willing to deal with failure and deal with the streakiness of the game, and how difficult it is at times, but it just makes you appreciate the good moments that much more. And as far as a sport, I always wanted to play on a team. I was just asked the other day, are you going to play in an adult league out in Chicago? And I'm like, I don't know, because there's something about being on a team and working out with the same guys and going through fall ball and grinding it out, and then just kind of strapping up your cleats and going out to play and compete with that group. That's really special, and that was one of the things that I liked most about playing sports in general, not just baseball. But from a strictly baseball perspective, I would say, all in all, I played a ton of games and won more than I lost, and had a heck of a fun time doing it. Met a ton of really interesting and great people who all worked hard, and a lot of them shared that same passion, and I was very lucky in that way. Had a lot of good mentors and older kids that I looked up to, and I hope that I did that same thing for the younger classes below me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very beautifully said. You mentioned all your teammates throughout the years and all that, and how people have an impact on you, and you get to see guys' work ethics, and you get to see extreme talent and all that. What's one guy who you think epitomized the work ethic and the talent on the baseball field? I know there's one guy that you played with growing up, and that we played, who was on your JV team freshman year. He played in the outfield. He wore his full winter coat to practice every single day. If we're talking about just one guy who just missed half the season because he'd skipped to go play basketball. If there's any guy who you just go ahead, shout him out right now. Go ahead. I mean, yeah.
There's Echols.
Oh my God.
You were always rocking that Nike winter coat.
To this day, bro, I still have a Nike winter coat on me all times, man.
We get chilly up here in Cuse.
Dude, it gets chilly.
I know.
And that's why I picked basketball. That's why I play basketball in college. I cannot play outside anymore. These outdoor sports were ridiculous, man.
I know. For as many rain delays and weather delays I had in baseball, I could have played a full basketball season inside.
Exactly, bro. That's what I'm saying. All right. There's one last thing I wanted to ask you. Is just finished your baseball career, amazing time. You just spoke so well about, your time as a baseball player. What's next for you? You know, I know you just got finished, you know, telling my parents that and telling me,
Yeah.
but like, you know, what's next?
So I'm heading out to Chicago this week. Going to be starting a job with AIG, doing some financial lines insurance stuff. Working on the public company team for the Midwest. So I'm excited about that. I think it'll be, you know, a really interesting experience just being in a new city, kind of getting the lay of the land there. And I'll be out there with some buddies from high school, which will be a lot of fun. And I'll be working there. I've also been working on this book that I've been writing for a couple of years called Figuring It Out.
Really?
Been writing that.
Didn't know that. I didn't know that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
I'll be the first to buy it. I'll let you come back on here and promote it.
Good.
When it comes out.
That's my quick plug. Yeah, no, it's been cool just kind of, you know, getting my thoughts out and talking about a lot of the things that we talked about today, and just my experience kind of growing up in a place like Syracuse, and exposing myself to a lot of different things, and life lessons that I learned, people that I've interacted with, and some of the things that have gotten me to where I am today. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't wait to read it. I didn't even know you were doing that. That's
so
sick. That gets me excited, man.
You get a preview.
I'm excited now.
I need some editor's comments from Terrence.
Of course. I'll be sure to check it out for you, man. And you know, I'll promote the hell out of it. You know, with whatever following I have at that point. You know, so
let's go.
I always got you, man. You're my brother for life. I appreciate you coming on. And
appreciate you
you
too,
know,
man.
Anything else you'd like to say? You know, plug your social medias. Beats and Eats.
Beats and Eats 1 on TikTok. That's about it. Instagram, MattCap13.
Yes, sir.
And Matt Cappelletti on Twitter.
Yes, sir.
And I'm very happy to have had this opportunity, T. It's been a long time coming. I appreciate you and appreciate our friendship.
Of course.
And you got a very bright future ahead of you too, my man.
Thank you, brother.
I'm excited to be there right alongside you. So,
awesome. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, buddy.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for checking out this episode of the Echols Unlimited podcast. Please don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please rate 5 stars on Apple, Spotify, all that stuff. Do whatever you need to do. Please just continue to promote this, and, you know, everyone go shower Matt with comments and say, thanks for coming on the podcast, Matt. You're so cool. Like, oh my God. All that other stuff. Have a great night. God bless.
Lovely.